Supercity News.
Good evening, Supercity. This is Supercity News. I'm your host, Lena Bauer, and if you're watching this, congratulations! You've survived another day in the world's busiest superpowered gig economy. Around here, having a superpower doesn't guarantee a destiny. It just guarantees paperwork. Over a century after the first anomaly lit up our gene pool, we live in a city where heroism is salaried, villainy is organized, and your insurance policy probably has a clause about metahuman-related incidents in font size 3. When disaster strikes, the Hero Resource Management Agency, HRM, dispatches capes like consultants. Right power, right job, right timesheet. And lurking in the shadows? Genesis, rogue vigilantes, and the kind of independent contractors who don't show up on any official roster. Tonight, we're looking at some of the names shaping life in Supercity right now. The headline heroes first, then the ones your handler tells you not to engage without backup. Front and center, there's the Punchline, Supercity's golden girl, the one HRM calls when entire districts are falling apart. Strength, speed, durability, you've seen the highlight reels. Between kaiju-class threats and catastrophic villains, she still finds time for school visits and the occasional flirty mid-battle banter with a certain unnamed nemesis. For the Punchline, saving the day is part public service, part show, and she rarely misses her cue. On the more mechanical end of the spectrum, meet Red Fox, the HRM's favorite no-powers big robot success story. Piloting the combat mech Ronin, she takes on superpowered threats with steel, grit, and an alarming amount of trash talk over the comms. To the public, she's the loudmouth pilot who keeps betting she can outpunch gods with a machine built from old blueprints and stubbornness, and so far, the smart money's on her. Not all hero work explodes on camera. HRM's trauma division quietly deploys a specialist some colleagues call the Angst Eater. Officially, she's a registered empathy hero who can absorb and neutralize psychological trauma. Unofficially, she's the one HRM sends to people shattered by the fallout no one else can punch. Accident survivors, hostage victims, all the invisible collateral. You won't see her on posters, but if your life is just imploded, she's the one they whisper about on the emergency line. And somewhere between hero roster and wanted list, there's Vigil, an unlicensed android heroine with a crow motif and a reputation for dropping into crime scenes from impossible angles. Bullet-resistant, razor-accurate, and very uninterested in HRM performance reviews, she cooperates when it suits her and ignores dispatch when it doesn't. Ask 3 people if Vigil's a hero or a liability, and you'll get 4 answers, but the criminals she's stopped don't argue with results. Of course, for every contract hero, there's someone who looked at all that structure and said, no thanks. Let's talk about the ones making the night shift interesting. First up, Lady Calamity. Technically a villainess, practically a one-woman chaos festival, she doesn't rob banks so much as turn city blocks into slapstick stages. Jammed printers, sabotage traffic systems, shoelaces mysteriously tying themselves mid-chase. Her heists are part crime, part performance art, and her favorite target seems to be anyone who takes themselves too seriously. HRM calls her a nuisance. The tabloids call her ratings. Then there's the quiet kind of trouble. Downtown, a firm called Spectre Consulting has a reputation for finding things no one else can. Lost assets, buried secrets, inconvenient truths. Its owner is officially just a very good researcher. Unofficially, some sources swear she always knows a little too much, a little too fast. The nickname floating around the underworld is the Clairvoyeur, never on record, of course. If that's true, she might be the most dangerous person in Supercity who's never thrown a punch. And in tragic news, Rowan Voss was found dead in his home last night under violent circumstances. We will spare viewers the details, but authorities describe the attack as highly lethal and targeted. Voss was the head administrator of Supercity Hospital and a former toxicologist. The many people whose lives he helped save will surely mourn his passing. Investigators are still working to identify a suspect, and there are early concerns that a new supervillain may be emerging. Officials are urging citizens to remain cautious and report any suspicious activity immediately. And finally, there are Scorch Claws and Vapor. In the financial district, a string of late-night incidents has seen upper floors cleared of staff, then carved up by controlled fire and walls of smoke, with witnesses reporting a flaming baton and a man stepping out of the haze just long enough to point them toward the stairs. HRM lists them as wanted arsonists and domestic terrorists. As for what they're really after, nobody's willing to say on record. In Supercity, heroes clock in, villains stage their brand of mayhem, and the rest of us try to keep up. Behind every dispatch call is a person in trouble. Behind every mask is someone trying, badly or brilliantly, to live with what they can do. So whether you see yourself flying in with the day shift, crawling through the underworld for secrets, or setting your own rules in the gray areas, there's a place for you in this city's story. Just remember, somebody is always watching, somebody is always recording, and somewhere an HR form already has your name on it. I'm Lena Bauer, this is Supercity News, and we'll be right here when your next incident goes live. Stay safe out there, cape or no cape.
Supercity News.